Welcome back to the F and Movie Now Just Gamecast. The Resume arc, we had more than we thought we had to say about it, so we're just gonna hit this go through it
Yeah.
snack bite.
So this is going to be a different one. This is for the new. Uh, I forgot who made it, so I'm not going to try to sound smart.
Sucker Punch video
Sucker
game.
Punch, Ghosts of Yotei.
Yep. Sequel to the highly anticipated, highly beloved Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Yotei. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you about the game. You either know about it or you don't. You're playing a typical, a little bit of spaghetti western revenge. A homie and 6 of his best friends kill your family, and they kill you, or so they thought. And then you grow up, and yeah, you're assassinating all of them.
Most
Spoiler, you're find your brother.
cliche,
Yeah,
most cliche
I,
beginning,
I think cliche is
or most story ever.
I think cliche is
Oh,
fine. But cliche can be done well. Case in point, I immediately in the first little bit, I'm like, all right, we're trying for a little bit of Kill Bill vibes, and Kill Bill is very cliche, but I love Kill Bill. The execution on that, that's cliche can be fine as long as you execute well on it. Is my point. But we get into Ghost of Yotei, and we are no longer Jin, the original ninja samurai, who is much more of a samurai than he is a ninja from at least my playstyle. Remembering back on it. Whereas definitely feels like we're more ninja than samurai, but not totally not ninja or samurai in this case.
yeah.
Um,
You don't have to be.
yeah, I mean, I don't want this to be a super long one because I mostly just want to get back to playing Hades 2. But here's what I'll summarize in the quickest way possible on like the big thoughts that I have for it. Between Hollow Knight, Ghost of Yotei, and now play Hades 2. Boy, are we in sequel town, man. Boy, are we seeing more
You,
of what you liked, but
hmm
more. Like
and it gets draining a
a little
bit,
bit. I won't
to
lie.
be
Hitting
honest.
these 3 games being my back-to-back-to-back ones, like Hades so far, I'm only 6 hours in, but it feels the most refreshing. Is the was what I would say about it. Like
hmm
Ghost of Yotei definitely feels like it could have been a very big DLC for Ghost of Tsushima. Um, Similar feelings to Silk Song.
Silk
You
Song
know,
was a DLC originally.
yeah, and then it became a full-fledged game. And
hmm
I'm not saying it's not a full-fledged game. It's definitely pretty meaty. It's got enough content and runtime to validate it. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I think like where I'd compare these two in specific is that it's just more of what you liked from the first shit with a little bit of difference here and there.
Sony
Um,
really doesn't want to take risk, it seems like. I mean, their
no,
last big ones, Forbidden West, is a prime example. I think even though I like Ragnarok better than the original, like it
yes,
really is
as
a
as
lot
a
of the
game,
same.
it doesn't jump up. It doesn't jump up
hmm
much with it. It's
You
a
get to play
nostalgia.
as Atreus, and it sucks.
Yeah. And then I would say while all these are great blockbuster hits still, and while they're none of them by any stretch of the means are quote unquote bad games, not in the least bit, because it's still most of a really great game that you played. But I think the experience of it, well, Ragnarok, I think really strided in some parts with it. Speaking of games that had rough pacing, that game went on forever.
It
Um,
did. It was long.
yeah, Ghost of Yotei, where I'll say the other side of it is that it just didn't carry so much in the stories experience with it. I'm not going to say it was zero. I think that there were some little moments probably here and there, and then I can really recall at the moment. But in general, what I would say is I don't hate my time for it, but I didn't love it either. I thought the gameplay was more of what I liked, more of, I mean, I'll tell you, things that give me dopamine. Assassinating a camp and sneaking around. There's not many games I typically like stealth assassination style. This one does a pretty good job
It
of it.
feels good.
Yeah, by the time you get whatever the sickle and chain weapon all the way up
Yeah, you can assassinate from the grass.
from like a mile away, oh god, that's fun. Yeah, the tools all feel. Here's actually a big thing I'll say for this game relative to a lot of other games. The tools are so strong they're worth using, and I think that that is
They
so
are.
often a thing that most games historically have gotten really, really bad at. That you have all these extra things you can do, and they're not worth it. It's not easier than just hitting square to kill. Where this one is hearing R1 to kill, it's like 4 things with kunais and guns and stuff. And I'm like, all right, this all feels really fun. The bells and whistles they add on for Yotei is really like I think is generally pretty fun, and I don't hate my time with it.
The
But
difficulty on it, I feel like they didn't do a great job.
there's
Um,
random
I
spikes of hard in this game.
I tuned it up to hard immediately after starting the game, and
Yeah.
needed to, just to keep myself sane. Then I ran into the grunts were pretty fun to fight on hard, but then I got to the
Uh-huh.
bosses and they just hit
S
a million damage
They
every
hit you
hit.
twice and you're
Oh
dead.
my,
Yeah.
easily, and they hit so quick. Like it's just swipe, swipe, and then you're dead. You just get double swiped, and
Yeah.
it's like this isn't fun. Like I don't want to beat my head against it. Like I parry and I do everything I can. I get a bunch of hits, and yet at the end it doesn't even matter because I just get hit twice and just die instantly. Like I have to play almost frame
Yes.
perfect to beat them on hard.
I think where the game very much suffered is the one-on-one samurai fights. Like when you're fighting
Hmm.
a crowd of people, when you're out going through camps, when you're really feeling like again, this is one of those games that like you just kind of want to feel like a fucking badass. Like most of the games I play, I'm like I'm kind of sweating. I want it to feel hard. Like Silk Song's one of these games. I love Elden Rings. I love, all the FromSoft games and Soulsborns and all these ones that, you are a squishy human in a fucking demon's world and oh shit, you are not this invincible guy. This is one of those games you're most of the time, not all the time, feeling like I'm the biggest badass in the room and you're fucking trapped in a room with me. And that often did feel good. But then you
Yep.
get into these one-on-one fights with random bounty hunt guys or shit like that. And god damn, did these things get unnecessarily hard. But to your point, the hardness is and this is my one of my biggest issues with difficulties at times, is when hardness isn't just technical
Hmm.
things I had to learn and figure out through the game. It's that lazy, they just hit way hard too quickly sometimes. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I parried them to your point like 10, 15 times right. And the fight probably should be done if that's the point. But because they had a little bit more health and then they got to hit me this one time and now I just fold. And I'm like, dude, this feels bad. Yeah. So the fights where it was like I saw the cutscene where they're drawing the swords for the
Oh my
umpteenth
god.
time.
And she looks at the camera and then she pulls out her sword real fast a little bit and then stops. And then she pulls it out
Yeah.
real fast. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Give
That
her
part I'm
another
like,
one.
lobotomize me, please. And the worst part is the same animation for when they beat you and they go over and they stab you with a sword. It's
Yeah.
just yeah, when
Hmm.
you died 100 times and you've seen every other character stab you that way, you're just kinda like, "Fuck you. Start it up." Yeah, so, case in point, one of the things that should be more fun than painful. So there was the, unrivaled what's his name, right? That you fight on the top of Yotei. I
Oh
don't know if
my
you followed through on that.
god. Yeah, I
So
tried it. On normal. I was like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna beat
I
him.
I barely beat him, and I used every tool, everything. I had to do it too many times over, and it took me a lot of tries, and I finally beat him. And I felt normally what I would get from a FromSoft game, from like a Sekiro or Dark Souls, something like that. I would be like, oh, and then I'd come from beating this guy. And this guy was just like, "Ah, cool, okay, now I can finally go beat the guy at the end of this game and win the game already, I guess. I get I am ready for the game to end. And that is not always my favorite feeling. Whenever I'm feeling like, all right, can we get to the end? Can I be done playing this game? I did have that feeling and that was frustrating.
But then you got to the end of the game and had to experience the story, which was when I got super
Yeah, I
duper
I knew
angry.
immediately when it happened. I was like, that's the moment that broke Bryce right there. And spoilers, guys, there's not much to spoil about this game, but here's a spoiler. You're an aunt, your brother that you
Oh
find who's also alive earlier in the game than you think.
my
Uh,
god.
you start to build this relationship, and then you guys fight the last guy together, and it's a good brother sister. Oh, your brother died. And he didn't need to. If I'm being honest, I think we lost enough.
Honestly,
The
what
match.
made me the most angry was before that when there's about to be this big battle. You're with your brother, your new mama,
Oh,
whatever her name is,
your new
and
mom.
the daughter. And there's about to be this huge battle. They're about to invade. It's about to happen,
Yeah,
and then
you got the brothers right there.
you just go to this random gravesite or whatever up this hill. You have this adventure with your new family
Yeah,
and they just mess around for like hours. And I'm like, there's about to be a huge battle. Why are we doing this? Why are
right.
we doing this right now? And then it's just her like looking around. Like there's a scene at the campfire where she's just looking around at the people around her, and I'm like, this is it. This is when the game is broken for me because she's just realized like, oh, this is what I want. All this living for revenge I've been doing my entire life
Mhm.
Doesn't matter anymore. I have these people. And she just completely turns course, becomes a totally different person. Well, she doesn't immediately, to her credit. I'll give her that.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Because
there's a
because
scene
there
right away that
because
juxtaposes.
there's the battle with the twin brother where her brother's like, "Come help me, we need to save my daughter," and she's like, "I
What about your
can't, I'm
niece?
sorry." And I like that. I like that she said like,
That's
"I
being
can't,"
said.
and I was like,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
You've
And
sold your
then
soul
her
to be the demon, right.
and then her brother gets kidnapped, and that's when she's like, I can't do this anymore. And she finds the other twin who's a piece of crap, and she's like, well, I'll let you go if you tell me where my brother's
She
at.
does talk no jutsu him a little bit. They fight, and she's just like, "Hey, but what if I killed your dad because you hate him?" And he's like,
Cool, cool, cool.
"Sure. Yeah, I'll help kinda." You know? So, I will
Yeah.
say that being said, the last camp fight, that whole little last camp encounter is really cool. The one on top of the mountain when we get to Saito's, like, home base,
hmm
the
Like
Koga
the where
Fortress.
the it's like a quarry kind of where
Yeah,
they're mining all that
that one's a
stuff.
really great that's a great base to explore and rip through and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then, Saito, runs back home. He figures out, oh, I'm gonna go back to their home. That's where you find your niece. He's got her there, and then the whole little outro fight happens, and it's fine. I think it's fine to good if I'm being honest. Yeah, like the fight up until your brother interferes, and I'm like, honestly, this could be better if honestly he's part of this fight, and then this is how it redeems. Honestly, my biggest issue with the brother dying is I feel like it takes away um some of the point of setting her up to be a human character. And what I mean by
hmm
that is, to your point, you have this whole like, "Oh, I've got a family now" part, and you're like, "Ugh." And pacing wise, I'm a little like, "Yeah, I kinda wanna get back into the fight and finish this up," but, like, I think narratively, it's pretty good because it does show you, "Hey, look, motherfucker, you've got your family. Half of your sure, you lost your parents, but motherfucker, they've been dead for a while. Get over that. You got this new family here. Own that." And then she has this, I can't do it. And then she goes back and she does it for saving him. She doesn't do it to kill them. She does it to save him, which all ends up being more or less the same if we're hitting, the endpoints here. But
Yeah.
by the time you're fighting Saito with your brother, I'm like, dude, this could be a great 1-2 fight. Like it could really be Sora Riku versus Zemnis. You know what I mean? Like it could
Oh
be
my
like
god.
we're so
Yeah.
back boys, and then he takes a hit, and he could just go down. He doesn't need to die, but he could go down, and you could finish the job, and it's you against him, the best fucking strongest warriors in Ezo, I guess. And then it's just that. But instead, they kill the brother, which I'm like, this is totally unnecessary. We've lost enough at this point. It doesn't need to be more loss and more of this just for you to be anti-mommy, at this point. Like,
But I mean, after
I,
Last of Us Part 2, they need to teach us that revenge is bad.
no, I get
Revenge is
it.
bad, okay?
It's bad, I'm still gonna do it. I'm gonna keep playing games that make me do it too, and I don't know, I just again, comparatively to Last of Us 2, I don't think I learned more about these narratives, like, so you get to be fair, this game at times gives us a little bit Last of Us 2 moments because you get these little notes when you beat out some camps with, like, why Saito's going around doing this. He's just like, "Dude, my wife died, my daughter died, and I never let it go." And then by the end of it do you really kinda get this captured image of, like, Saito is you. Like, he's you on full revenge path, and look what
Yep.
he's lost. And it's just like, "How much are you gonna keep doing this?" And I think that's totally delivered enough with no dead brother. And then they kill the brother, and I'm like, come on, man. Kill Kitsune. Kill all Kitsune. She could if anybody was gonna die,
Yep.
her
That would have been great.
narratively is the death flag character. She comes in to redeem it. She saves the family. They get to live on, you know. But killing the brother, I'm like, who for the record, some of the failings of the game, I don't particularly love, to be totally
I
honest. I'm nothing
didn't
but
either. I thought
negative.
she was pretty flat.
Yeah, I think he was pretty flat. I think we're okay. I think the Kitsune one, whose name I'm forgetting right now, I think actually she's pretty good. She's probably the
Oh,
most
you
fleshed out
liked
character.
her. Okay.
Actually typically liked her. Yeah, I think her arc, the time when we're going through her, we learned that she's the Kitsune and doing all that. It felt earned. I didn't think any of the beats with her felt like they were rushed or they didn't give enough time or they didn't. She's just like, I'll fight you, but I'm here to teach you, and I don't know how many times to teach you. But what I thought was actually kind of good was even up until the end, I'm like, but is she going to double cross us now? Because like
hmm
she could still could, and the fact that she doesn't, and she's just there for like, no, I'm here because I owe this debt, and I owe this family, and these are my people now. And I'm like, no, I think that's really cool, and that would have made her to be a great character. But it feels like they didn't want to be too cliche and an already already up front admitted it's a cliche story. And I feel like
Hmm.
instead of picking the character who should have died, they went the other direction and killed the brother for what feels like reasons other than I just don't want it to be predictable. And I'm like, yeah, for those
The Game
narrative
of
reasons,
Thrones method.
yeah, it narratively does not feel consistent with me in a ways that I feel like is like the ending we get feels like the bad ending of a game. You feel like when you dunced your way through an ending that has multiple options and you got the bad one. I got the bad
Yeah.
one, except it's the main ending. Like that's
Except you don't
so
get a choice.
no, yeah. So that does kind of hurt my reflections and score on the game overall. But yeah, I don't know. Ghost of Yotei was. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a game I'm playing totally for story. So
But for me, it's just like Arceus. Like you're not playing it for story, but they're gonna make you experience the story. They're gonna make
sure,
you
sure.
go through dialogue. They're gonna make it where you can't skip it. You have to
It's not
engage with it.
it's not unimportant. I will say it won't be the bulk of my score because at the end of the day, like there's still a lot of enjoyment I had from this game. I still had a lot of fun sneaking around, killing people, fighting crowds, having these little one-off stories with the mentors. Other big
Oh
easy
my
complaint is
god.
that every area is copy paste the same. You go find your mentor, you kill a couple bases, you get all the skills for the new weapon, you go kill a couple more bases, you kill the big base, maybe you kill a Yotei six member, rinse repeat. And that is the game
I
about
just
5 times over.
I just got so sick of every time I would go talk to any NPC. I was like, I just want to go to this blacksmith. I just want to upgrade my stuff, and then
Yeah,
and then it goes to a dialogue portion, and it's
you got the
like,
Forbidden West issue that I have.
I can't upgrade your stuff because the bandit camp came into town and killed my family. Let me tell you about my family. And you can't skip it. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
You just have to suffer and learn what blacksmith number 3 has gone through in his life. Like, I don't care. I just want to go in bandit camps. Just let me kill bandit camps. Give me the Far Cry 3 or the Far Cry method and just give me camps to clear.
Far
I
Cry
don't
3
want
really
those.
got it. You know what? They focus on the story that needs to be told, and they didn't tell all these stories that didn't need to be told. And I think this is, you want to talk about things that are still coming off of a 2012 game. We're still suffering from The Witcher 3's fantastic narratives across the board. A game that was so heavily invested in all of its stories that the gameplay was overlooked. Because the gameplay in Witcher 3 is, I won't say it's bad. I'll say it's okay to good. The gameplay in this game is really good. There's even moments of great, if I'm being honest. But
See, I disagree. It just felt like rock, paper, scissors. That's all it felt like. When somebody had
in
a
some
katana out, I
fight,
had my katana. When they had their spear out, I had my dual
dual
blades or
katana.
whatever. Like
Yeah. So
it
okay,
just got
I would
it
say
just
great
got
is probably an
tiring.
exaggeration. I would say it has moments of really good because once I have weapons open, like once I have skills that are open up and tools that are open up, and I kind of explore it and however which way I want to go about it. This time I'm gonna go blasting people. Another time I've got an armor that locks on the 6 people's heads, and I fucking just rip the camp in half from a vantage point. That felt really good to me. I did not hate that gameplay loop at all, but to your point, when we're in one-on-one sword fights with it, the times the game's supposed to shine. I remember it shining in Tsushima, and I couldn't tell you the biggest difference on why it didn't feel great here. It just didn't.
I
Yeah,
agree because they have the stances in Tsushima, which is the same
yeah,
thing. It's the same rock, paper, scissors. It may be
same concept, but it just
Maybe
feels.
maybe I'm just tired of it because I've already done it in Tsushima. Like
Yeah,
I bought the director's cut that came out recently
yeah,
that upgraded it to PS5, and I tried playing Tsushima and I couldn't do it. Couldn't I just couldn't get back into that world for some reason, which I think is
yeah.
a bad detriment to that game. Which I am excited to go back to Forbidden West. I remember like it's so beautiful. Which
I want to go
which by
back
the
to the
way,
world. I just don't
Yotei.
want to go back to the people.
Yes, Yotei is a gorgeous game. I took so many screenshots. That is something
Still, still a top
unequivocally
two
they do
pretty game
great.
in the world right now. Yeah, that
Hmm.
game is screenshot rich. I'll tell you the amount of games I have screenshots from. Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotei. That's it. Like it is both of those games because Sucker Punch is creating an insanely beautiful world, and it's not even
Yeah,
close.
the humans I think look horrible. I think
Yeah, they're
they
not so great. They're
look
pretty generic models.
so bad. But the world, man, the color. I love how they use color and
Yeah,
everything. It's so good.
pretty unmatched there. I mean, I think on visuals alone, it'll get some points on the score for sure. It's the prettiest game out there. It's relatively pretty fun and burst, but there's some chunks that just chug.
Yeah.
One-on-one
Which
fights. Ugh,
roll that into your score. Your sets. Speaking of scores,
You're gonna give it like a 5 out of 10 or something. Not
No, I
even
was
high.
going for you. No,
Oh,
you
I'll go.
you 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 were doing a good lead up.
Yeah. So I'll just lead it right into score. Visuals are great. The music's fine to good. Um, more of the
Man,
gameplay
those
than not.
moments where they make you sing a song, like looking at your family
Yeah.
and stuff, is
Uh,
so cringe.
not my favorite this time around. Yeah, better in
And it's so
Tsushima.
slow.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. You know what? Here's what I'll say. I'd still give this game like a 7.5.
Oh,
Um. The visuals are solid. It's more of what I mostly like from Tsushima, but they do some things worse in the action. And it is felt and it does suffer quite a bit. The story in general is fine and cliche, and I don't think is over executed or under executed. I think it's kind of right there in the nose on like it gives me the reason to be in the places to kill the people. Fine. That's good enough for me. I really don't need it to be a technical masterpiece on the story. It's great when it is. I'm not saying it's not important. And when we have to live through it, whatever. There's cutscene there's cutscene main girl character, and then there's how we play her. And I think
I'm gonna
zero
buy you.
punctuation is into
I'm
that.
gonna buy you some Assassin's Creed games.
No, God, no.
Apparently that's all you need. You just want some checklists. You just want some of that.
No,
You don't
I
need the
don't I don't need
story.
more of it. I don't and here's what I'll tell you about Assassin's Creed. I've played those, not all of them, not many of them, but even in the earlier ones where I'm like, not fun. I don't like sneaking and killing. It's not as satisfying. Ghost Yotes gave me enough to sit there and do that.
You sound like
But
Dennis. It was like, have you ever been to the beach? Yeah, not physically.
yeah, that's fun. Every time I see more things about them, I'm just like, okay, so this is just Assassin's Creed Shadows, but better. Is how many people have said it, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Which I
So
cut you off. Zero punctuation said, which I think is
yeah,
so
he did.
accurate.
There is one thing that he does nail in the description is that you have like I forgot our main character's name. That's kind of how detached I am from the
Oh
character.
my god.
Anyways, you have cutscene main character and then how you play main character. And there's one part in specific where you literally have Saito like within assassinating. It gives you the prompt, you leap and you fall, and then you whiff it, and then he's just like, "Come on, man! Like, all right, let's go out here. I'm gonna go beat you up in front of the boys." And it's just like, yeah. In cutscenes, you have a notably dumber and more frustrating main character that is purely driven by revenge, even at all costs. That being said, the one scene where you're in the camp and you get stuck with the drag or with the spider,
I
and
was
he's
gonna say,
going to
I
play,
swear I was gonna bring that up. That
fucking
was
sick.
dope.
Yeah, full revenge is what I want. I want if you're gonna go kill Bill, go full kill Bill. Don't give me
Yeah,
two kill Bill. Yeah,
go into it. I mean, because they were doing the song of her family getting killed,
yeah,
and
they do
it
it as a
just turned
play.
her
And
into
it's
rage
like,
mode. And you get a new mechanic, like the
yes,
new whatever, and it turns everything like black and white. Oh,
it just kind of
that
gives
was
you
so
like a
rad.
red filter and it lasts a little bit longer. It's honestly not that much mechanically different than anything else, but
Oh
um
yeah.
that chunk fucking cool. I'm like, cool, give me full kill Bill. That's what I wanted. And that was there. So there's enough moments, like I said, that keep it above water for me. I'm not saying this ain't winning game of the year. It'll probably get nominated on visuals alone. It fucking probably should, to be totally honest.
I hope it doesn't.
I think it will. I think it's gonna be too hard not to because it's not, at least in my experience of it, it's not bad enough to knock it out of like at least a nom on a particularly busy year. But here's my hottest take that I'll give you at the end of my score. Ghost of Yotei or Marvel Rivals. If it was just these two games for game of the year, I'd probably pick Marvel Rivals at this point, to be totally honest.
Yeah, you should. It's a more different kind of game that does a lot. It
Yeah,
gives us a lot of, most importantly, it gives us a lot of gooner bait. So
hell
I
yeah, it
think it's a
does, and
very
that's
important game.
goon 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 goon. All right, so go ahead and give it 5 or whatever you're gonna give it.
No, it's going lower than that. I was
Oh
angry at this
god.
game, and you know that when I get
I knew
angry,
you were.
it doesn't turn into
I
anything
knew
good.
you were angry when you wanted to review it. I'll put it that way. When you're like, I want to talk
Because
about this.
like Clear Obscure, when I was like I want to review it, like that's an easy like, oh yeah, like this one's hot.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yes.
hot.
I want to talk about how
There
good this
no
is.
no one feels about that way about Yotei. No one is going to be feeling strongly about like this should be high up, and they shouldn't, because I think this game is, I wouldn't say unequivocal trash, but like it's trash. At the end of it, I did not want to finish it. I I fought the Kitsune was my first Yotei 6 member to kill, and I
Oh
couldn't
man, that
stand
was
my
your
time with it.
you
The
you talked about
puzzles,
the snow, that's right. Yeah.
yeah, the puzzles were mind-numbingly boring. You had to do them so often, it just dragged its feet for so long. I couldn't stand it. So that like it started off horribly for me, and then it never came back. I never liked the main character. Thought she was very one note, very boring. The combat I never really enjoyed because it just rock paper scissors. And
Mm,
something that we haven't talked about that I can't stand is that she like dies so many times in this game.
mhm.
She gets stabbed, she gets killed, whatever, and then some miracle, some amazing being from the
On
sky comes up
Ryu,
and just
baby.
saves her. It
Yeah,
happens so freaking often, and it makes me so mad because they make it seem like you can go in and just kill like so many people, and if there's too many people, you'll get outnumbered and die.
yeah, yeah.
Good, I'm glad there's that. But it's if it's like a one-on-one fight and a cutscene happens, she's probably gonna lose, and
Mhm.
you're gonna be dying or whatever, and it grates on me. It just makes me
It just
so mad. I'm just like,
it
just
does
stop wasting
dispel the
time.
whole "I'm the badass" energy when you fucking take 4 losses in
Yes,
a row really quickly. Yeah.
it's so annoying, and she just is so insufferable. I don't know. I at the end of this
Christ
game when
hates
it
women
got
characters.
in,
There it is, guys. We said it. We got
I
him
can't.
again.
It's whatever. I couldn't stand it. I got so mad at the end of the game. I was like, this needs to be over 10 hours ago. Just got tired of doing it. The repetitive formula of each world got so annoying. And yeah, I got tired of hearing the phrase Yotei 6. I feel like I
Mhm.
heard that phrase innumerable times. So, due to that, I felt like it was wasting my time, which is always, in my review opinion, the worst sin you can make. So, I would probably give this game a 2. I thoroughly did not enjoy my time with it, and am very sad I spent $70 on it.
Yeah. Upside, you know what doesn't cost you $70 and you can play right now? 2X KO. It's like League of Legends, but way better. It's just a fighting game
You're
for League
probably
of
right,
Legends.
but it's a fighting game, so I won't play. The last thing I
Coward.
wanted, the last
Learn
thing
it.
I want, last thing I just wanted to tell you that I thought was interesting is that I was
Mhm.
listening to the podcast is called Min Max, and it's a gaming podcast.
Mhm.
And it's always funny to listen to them say like this game came out near the beginning of the year, so it's gonna be hard for people to remember it for game of the year discussions. And I was thinking about that. I was like, the Clear
Clear
Obscure obviously
Obscure?
is my game of the year.
Not even close to.
It does
Yeah.
like I'm not even like close to forgetting it. And then I was just listening to my Spotify on shuffle the other day, and the song Lumiere came on
Uh-huh.
from Clair Obscure, and I was just like, that just gets me right back to where I was when I was playing this game back in
Yep.
February. Like I could not play this game for years, put that song on, I know exactly how I felt. I remember everything that happened, all the characters, everything. And I don't know. I just feel like I needed to gush about it and just be like, I still think about how special of a game that was and how fun I thought it was.
Yeah, I will say kinda like final thoughts is, I think the big discussion that kinda creeps on this time of the year is like game of the year, or nominees and stuff like that. And this is gonna be one of those years that'll be a really fascinating thing because, like, in theory, it is one of the most stacked years in probably about 6 or 7 years having if you said Hades 2 on its own, no, as much as you shrug in the reality of the games, the weight of the game's titles and the expectations of the games are insane. We have literally Hades 2, Silk Song, and Ghost of Yotei. All these games before coming out were easily perceived to be definitely nominees, probably, not even possibly, but probably the winner of that year. And we have Hades 2, Silk Song, Ghost of Yotei, and all of them have dropped this year. And even against those odds, Claire Obscura is most likely going to win pretty handily. I would think so. I could see a world where Silk Song actually sneaks by, but I feel like it's got to be Expedition 33 still.
It has
Um,
to be.
there's a lot of the ones that kinda are creeping underwater that I could see possibly making an argument for. I haven't got a chance to play it yet, but it's what my buddy would say is, like, The Alters could be one of these, like, indie darling picks that gets nominated but
No.
probably doesn't win.
Yeah.
But in general, for me, it's like this is a year of such massive things, and I think this will be a big reflection year on massive titles. Um, it feels bad to say underperforming, but yeah, like underperforming to the hype. Like, because we've gotten too much sequel-itis. It's been very safe sequels across the board, and part of
It
why Clair
has.
Obscur stands out so much. Like the thing, I was watching somebody who reviews a lot of Marvel Rivals stuff, or they'll do like footage and stuff like that, and they mentioned that technically Marvel Rivals is in this year's award season, and
Oh, interesting.
so, and they said realistically, and they said something that I'm like, huh, that actually may be right. And let's not put Hades into the discussion right now because I'm still playing it. But let's say with Silk Song and Ghost of Yotei, still two massive sequels to incredibly popular franchises now at this point. And they said that honestly, Marvel Rivals is doing more than those two games are as far as bringing to the properties. Like Silk Song is more Hollow Knight, Ghost of Yotei is more Ghost of
Hmm.
Tsushima. But like Marvel Rivals has been a reinvigoration into like the hero shooter, like, and in a ways, and has been taking headlines left and right pretty much since it's come out. And I'm like,
Hmm.
that's not a wrong take, honestly. And it's like, barring Color Obscure, it's like objectively Marvel Rivals is probably ahead. Now let me beat Hades 2 and I'll see what my final thoughts are on that one.
Hmm.
But I'm like, fuck, that's a strange thought. I'm like, this feels like shilling, but honestly, it's like, no, like Marvel Rivals has done more for a genre, as much as Clair Obscur has probably at least done for fucking JRPGs. And honestly, JRPGs didn't need saving. There's a really good video about that actually. So yeah,
Hmm.
just random passing thought. I'm like, this will be a big year for I think either AAA businesses are going to sit there and say, "Man, we got beat out by another AA indie crowd again." And it's not that like they do it for the awards. This is all happenstance. But I think I wonder if this will be a shift where people are going to be like, "Are we going to keep settling for more of the thing we like?"
That's a great point. Because I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like this stuff that's playing it safe isn't getting the kind of traction it normally does. I mean, Hades 2,
No.
I think, is way better than the original Hades, but I'm not seeing people really talk about it too much, which is
I'm wondering if
crazy.
that's the nature of how it came out though, because it's had early access stuff that people have been playing it so like
Hmm.
passively already, and
Good
now
point.
the only thing I've kind of seen, and I don't know about, but people have said that like, oh, post launch, there's like things that happen now in the story that change like the whole concept of an ending or something.
The thing that happens at the end still happens, but the
Uh huh.
way that it had the mechanics of how it happens changes a little bit.
Mm,
Not in a significant way,
right.
but yeah, that's as far as I can go.
Yeah. And that's as far as I want to hear because I want to play it myself. So I've got another. I'm playing this until probably December something, knowing the amount of time I can give to a game at any given time right now.
It's a
So
big game. It's
yeah,
worth
I
it.
was like, if it's anything like Hades one, which let me quick check here on this one. Let's go to Hades. How much time do I have? My guess is probably around 200. No, okay, I'm exaggerating. 96 hours, which is still, in fact, a
That's
lot
a
of fucking
lot.
hours. Which
Yeah.
is still a lot of fucking hours, to be clear.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you
It's
said
worth it.
90 more hours of this, dude, I'm playing this until December. So
There's way more content in this than Hades
yeah,
1,
and then
honestly.
I might end up picking up a Switch 2 eventually this year. So we'll see.
For ZA.
Yeah, which I do already own. So
My god.
I want to
You
give Nintendo.
absolute shill.
I want to give Daddy Nintendo all of their money for their Game of the Year game right here. But
It is
mostly,
not entering any nomination.
mostly I just wanted this playmat. It looked neat. It came for free, so
That is pretty cool.
it's a fun playmat. See, worth it.
You don't even play Pokemon.
Yes, I do. I play Pokemon all the time.
TCG.
Oh, not the TCG. Well, I do play Pokemon Snap. You can now trade with me over on PokeHub
Are you trying to
or
say
Pokemon
Pornhub?
Snap, Pokemon Pocket. Sorry, PokeHub. Yeah,
Oh, Poke Pocket. Yeah.
Poke Pocket. Yeah,
Okay,
I
I know
do
what you're
quite a
talking
bit
about.
in that one. Yeah, actually, I do these ones every day. My pack is
Uh,
ready in 22 minutes.
I used to play that, but we should cut this.
Some people say it's better than busting a nut. Anyways, guys, that's our insight and review on Ghost of Yotei. If you like the content, as always, let us know. We might do it again next year. Probably will. Seems like something me and Price would do. And if you're keep enjoying our content, hey, we might still have movies coming out by this point. We've got a small backlog, but
Yeah, we do.
we'll see if it gets us to May of next year. I don't know. We had a really good final episode. That's what I'll say.
Oh, I'm excited for it.
That
I
was
want to see what it is.
we have a really good outro. I think people will like it. But anyways, that's our show, guys. Until next time, make sure to like, subscribe. Tell us what you think. What do you think's to be game of the year? Is it clearly obscure? Are we shilling Marvel Rivals too much? Is
Should it
AAA
be
getting
Ghost
a
of
little?
Yotei? I will find you and yell at you if you say so.
I want you to say it. You know what? I want people who just said, you know what, the game's so pretty, and that's all I really want to play games for. And this game is the peak of that. Game of the year. I'm like, who might have fault you? Not wrong. So pretty. Prettiest game of the year. I'm gonna give it that by a mile.
I don't know about that, but we'll see.
I'd give it that. Anyways, guys, until next time, let us know in the comments what you think, and we won't read it. I don't know, but we like the engagement. Help us, please. So
Help.
please help.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye.